Omniflx.com under the Revit Files tab. These files will come in a variety of different collections, starting with just customized details, but going into more specifics like shade pockets, light coves, soffits, as well as sprinkler wraps. Stay tuned to this website because more will be added all the time. Let's start by looking at some of the light coves. Once I go to this area, it starts by giving me thumbnails of each particular detail and gives examples of the parameters that can be adjusted inside of Revit. So let's say I find this one here. I can expand it and take a look and see that this is the particular light cove that I would like. I can also see that it has several parameter adjustments, L1, L2, H1, and H2, and some extension adjustments on either end. To download this content, you simply click the link at the bottom of the thumbnail, and it will download a zip file containing not only the light cove, the Revit family, a Revit detail component, as well as PDFs containing the parameter notes and a detail component. So let's see how these are used. I have now switched to Revit Architecture. I am currently in Revit Architecture 2010, so these files are compatible with as early as Revit 2010, as well as going forward into 2011 and even further beyond. To place these components, the easiest method would be to use the Wall Sweep tool. You would start by loading in the profiles that have been downloaded from Omniflx.com, select the Wall Sweep tool, and simply pick your wall sweep type. You may need to go into your type properties and assign the profile to a wall sweep. Then you simply select the walls that you would like these attached to. As you can see, it creates the geometry around not only straight, but as well as curved walls, and allows for the easy adjustment of height options. So let's say I did want this particular part at 9'6" above finished floor. If I were to take a look at my section view, I can see in here that this particular object does have some included detailing inside of it. So shown at a very coarse level, it just provides the outline of that detail. But if I bump it up, it will actually show me a little bit more detail, including where the Omniflx assembly parts are located. I can come in and simply adjust parameters using the instance properties of these objects. But let's say I needed this to go all the way up to this, this structure above, and I now need to adjust my detail. So let me just take a couple of quick measurements so I know how high up this needs to go. So I need to add another 8 inches there, and perhaps I need this to be another foot longer to the right. To edit these parts, you simply find where they're located in the family tree, right-click on it, and say Edit. So I am editing Cove 101. When I open this up, it just opens the family editor where I easily can come into the types area and change my values. Now you see they're listed as L1, L2, H1, H2. Also provided on the Omniflx website will be a Revit file containing nothing but parameter information as well as drafting details that you can use for your documentation set. So you simply find the detail that you are using, Cove 101, go to the parameter map, and I can see what L1 controls, what L2 controls, H1, H2, etc. Now that I know the information that I need, I just simply edit this data. I'm going to start by making my length a little bit longer, and you see my profile immediately adjusts, including the detailing inside of that profile. I'm also going to change H2 to 1 foot. Excuse me, I wanted to change H1 to 1 foot and leave H2 at 6 inches. There we go. So H2 is controlling the height of the end here. H1 is controlling the overall height. Now that I've done that, I simply load this back into the project, and I can now see that my profile is taller in my 3D view as well as it is taller in my section view. Now there may come certain instances where this particular detail component does not show up in certain views. What I mean by that is in this curved wall. An inherent flaw in Revit is that if a curved object exists, it cannot place that embedded detail component inside of that model geometry. This is not a problem though. However, we just simply need to go to our detail component tool, find Cove 101, place it in our drawing, and adjust it as needed. Once I have placed this component, simple adjustments will be needed to this detail component as well to add in that extra level of detail. Notice it's the same parameters that I will be changing on both sides. Now that detail has fit in, and it is looking good. So now that we have our detailing created, let's take a look at how we can manipulate this object. First, the Omniflx detail library has been created in such a way that it makes for easy placement, manipulation, as well as painting materials. You simply would grab the Modify tool, go to your Paint option, select a paint that you're looking for, and simply click the faces that you would like to paint. Next, maybe you want to bring in a detail so that you can include this in your document set. To do that, you simply go to the Insert tab, Insert from File, and Insert Views from a File. Once you have found your Omniflx detail library, you simply open this up, and in this file is all of the details needed to put onto your document set. I'm going to find Cove 101. That's the one I would like to bring in. Once I hit OK, it has now brought in this detail that I can now mark up and annotate as needed to place onto my document sheets. Let's take a look at another method to create an Omniflx assembly inside of your model. I'm going to go to my ceiling plan where perhaps I would like a circular shaped soffit. In this case, you simply use the Created in Place method to create this object. Now you can use a variety of methods to do this. In this case, I'm going to use a sweep. I'm going to start by specifying my work plane as the ceiling object in the room, and then sketching my path as a simple circular object right in the middle. I'm also going to move my path, and I can then select my profile, soffit 114. Now to control this, I'm also going to go back to this section view so I can see exactly where this is located. And there you can see it is going to create this particular soffit swept around and there we go. So there is my Omniflx soffit created with an in-place family. Now the same type of functionality would work if I need to place a detail component in there. I would simply cut a section through that portion of the model, find the area that I am looking for, and then simply place a detail component where it needs to go, and then adjust the values accordingly. And that is a quick look at how we can use the Omniflx detail library inside of Revit architecture to create